Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be solving question number 1 and 2 from exercise 8.1. But before solving the problem, in the introductory class, we have discussed about the meaning of trigonometry and also some other important topics which we are going to use in this chapter. So if you are yet to watch that video, then please watch that video before you learn how to solve the problems provided in the exercises. Because if we are not clear with the meaning and the concepts of all the other topics that we are going to use in this chapter while solving the problems, then I don't think you will be able to understand the steps that we are going to use in the problems properly. So I'll provide the link of that video in the description box. So please, before watching this video, please watch that introductory part, and then you can come back and then learn how to solve the problems. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, let's go through the question. Question number 1, exercise 8.1. The topic is, name of the chapter is trigonometry. So in triangle ABC, right angle at B, AB is equal to 24 centimeter, BC is equal to 7 centimeter. This is a given information. This information is given. And what we are told to find, we are told to determine sine A, the value of sine A, comma, cos A. These two terms are separate, okay? So sine A, the value of sine A will be different, cos A will be different, sine C, comma, cos C. So first of all, while solving the questions related to trigonometric ratios, you need to draw the diagram. That is must for all the questions. Without the diagram, you won't be able to solve the problem. So first of all, let us draw a diagram. And the diagram, what will be the diagram? The diagram will be a triangle, right? Right angle triangle. We know that trigonometry is used in right angle triangle, and in this question it is clearly mentioned that angle B is 90 degree. Okay, so here we cannot use random names because they have already given the name of the triangle, that is ABC. If they haven't mentioned, if it was like in triangle, then we have the choice to give any name for the triangle. We can use PQR, XYZ, anything. But if they have mentioned the name of the triangle, then you need to use those name only. So we have A, B I'm giving out here because B is 90 degree, right? It's clearly mentioned right angle at B. So right angle means 90 degree. So ABC. Now let us also write down this information. AB is 24 centimeter, AB is 24 centimeter, and BC is equal to 7 centimeter. Okay, so these are the given information. So we'll first mention all the given information. So given angle B is equal to 90 degree because right angle means 90 degree. AB is equal to 24 centimeter and BC is equal to 7 centimeter. Now what are we told to find? We are told to find the value of sine A, cos A, sine C, and cos C. Okay, before going to the demand of the question, the demand of the question is this, right? Before going to the demand of the question, make sure that you have the values, that is the length of all the sides. Make sure that you have the length of all the sides of the triangle. So if you observe the figure, that means we have one missing side, right? Then what is the name of that side? The name of that side is AC. This AC, we don't know the length of this AC. So make sure that first you know all the sides of a triangle before moving to the main demand of the question. This process will be used in all the questions. We'll first find out the sides, that is the length of all the sides, and then we'll move to the main demand of the question. So please remember, first we'll find out the missing side of the triangle. So what theorem we need to use out here? If we have followed the introductory class, I have mentioned that when we have a right angle triangle, and if two sides are given, it can be any two sides. So in this question, AB and BC are given. The information of the third side will be found by using Pythagoras theorem. That is, Pythagoras theorem helps us to find out the missing side. If two sides are given, the third side can be easily found by using Pythagoras theorem, provided the triangle should be right angle triangle. Why? Because Pythagoras theorem is used only in right angle triangle. So now we'll apply Pythagoras theorem and then find out that missing side. So using Pythagoras theorem, I'll be using the short form PT. PT stands for Pythagoras theorem. So using Pythagoras theorem, so what does Pythagoras theorem states? Pythagoras theorem states hypotenuse square, H stands for hypotenuse, is equal to P stands for perpendicular, and then B stands for base. So this is the formula of Pythagoras theorem. Now what is hypotenuse? What is hypotenuse as per this diagram? So we have learned in the introductory class that hypotenuse is what? It's the opposite side of right angle. It's the opposite side of right angle. So our right angle is out here, that means B is right angle. So what is the opposite side of B? The opposite side of B is AC. So AC will be our hypotenuse, which is missing, right? Which is unknown. So hypotenuse, we can simply write hypotenuse because it's missing, or you can write AC, or you can write AC square because we don't have the value. What about perpendicular? Which one will be perpendicular? See, we know that perpendicular, it depends upon the acute angle. Whichever acute angle we select, accordingly we select the perpendicular. So now we are not going to use trigonometry, we are using Pythagoras theorem, right? We are not using the trigonometry, we are yet to come to that ratios. So while using Pythagoras theorem, you have the freedom to select any one angle as acute angle. So most of the time I'll be using this as acute angle. Okay, please remember, I'll be using this as acute angle while using Pythagoras theorem. While coming back to trigonometric ratio, that time whatever is mentioned out here, that one we need to use. But while using Pythagoras theorem, you have the freedom to use the acute angle. So I'll be using C most of the time. So according to C, acute angle C, our perpendicular will be what? Our perpendicular will be AB and our base will be BC. So this will be our pattern in most of the question because we have the freedom to select the acute angle. So most of the time base will be the lower side, that is the side in the down part, and then this will be our perpendicular, and the hypotenuse too, we know that it's the opposite side of right angle. So our perpendicular is given, that is 24 square, and then we also have the base, that is 7 square. So now if we AC square will be AC square, since we don't know the value, it will be AC square only. What about 24 square? 24 is 576. I hope you know what is the meaning of 24 square. 24 square refers to multiplication of 24 two times, right? 24 into 24. What about 7 square? 7 square means 7 into 7, right? That is 49. That is 49. So we have AC square is equal to 576 plus 49 will give us 625. So AC square, AC is equal to, I hope you know that if we transfer this square, it becomes what? Root, right? It becomes root, so it is the root of 625. So AC is equal to 625 is the root of the root of 625 is 25. That means, what does this mean? If you multiply 25 into 25, you will get 625. Okay, you can also find out the root of this 625 by using factorization method. Factorization method means you will take the LCM. For example, let's say I don't know the square root of 625. So in that case, what you'll do, if you don't know the square root of 625, in that case what you'll do, you'll simply take the LCM. You'll simply take the LCM of that number. The last digit ends from 5, so we can go from 5. 5 1s are 1 in hand, 5 2s are 5 5s are, and then 5 2s are 10, 5 5s are 25, 5 5s are 25, and then 5 1s are 5. So write all those numbers within the root. 5 into 5 into 5 into 5. So AC will be equal to, since this is square root means from every two numbers, from every two same numbers, it should be same. It should not be 5 into 3. It should be 5 into 5 or 3 into 3. So from every two same numbers, we'll take out only one out of the root. So from these two pair, we'll take out one out of the root, and from these two pair, we'll take out one out of the root because it's a square root. Square means 2. So the pair will be 2. Okay, so from 2 5, I'll take out one out of the root, and from this 2 5, I'll take out one out of the root. So this AC will become what? AC will become 5 5s are 25 centimeter. So we got the value of hypotenuse as well as 25 centimeter. So firstly I told you that we need to have the length of all the sides. So now we have the length of all the sides. We have AB 24, BC 7, and then AC we have found out it is 25. So now we can easily find out the demand of the question. So what was the demand of the question? Number one, it was sine A comma sine C. So first let us find out for sine A. Sine A is, first we need to write down the formula. So formula is P by H. This is the ratio, perpendicular by hypo. So now A, what does this A means? What does this A means? So I told you in the introductory class that the term attached with the trigonometric ratio is acute angle. That is, A represents what? This A represents acute angle. And why it is important to know the acute angle? Because as per acute angle only we select the perpendicular and base. So you need to have the clear idea of all the terms. That's why it's very important for you to first watch the introductory part. It is the introduction part. So here A represents acute angle. So what will be our perpendicular? If A is the acute angle, what will be our perpendicular? Perpendicular is the opposite side of acute angle. It's the opposite side of acute angle. So our perpendicular will be BC. Our perpendicular will be BC. So what is the length of BC? BC is 7 centimeter. BC is 7 centimeter divided by, what about hypotenuse? Hypotenuse doesn't depend upon acute angle. Hypotenuse depends upon right angle. So our right angle is out here, 90 degrees out here. So the opposite of right angle is which one? AC, right? The opposite side of right angle is AC. So it is 25 centimeters. So our hypotenuse will be 25 centimeter. This centimeter should be cancelled. If you are writing centimeter, then you need to cancel this, because in ratio we don't have any unit. Either you directly write only the numbers 7 by 25, or if you are mentioning the unit, that is centimeter, meter, then you need to cancel that. Okay, so the final answer is not 7 centimeter by 25 centimeter. The final answer will be 7 by 25. So this is number 1. And number 1 we have two parts. This is sine A. What about next is cos A, right? We have two parts for number 1. So cos A. So now let us first write down the formula of cos. Cos is base by hypotenuse. So what is the acute angle out here? Our acute angle out here is A. Again we need to look from A point of view. So our A is out here. So according to this acute angle, what will be our base? Base is the adjacent side. It is the nearby side. But we always have two adjacent side. For one angle. But see, this side is already occupied by hypotenuse, because this will not change. 90 degrees out here. So this will always be hypotenuse for this question. So the nearby side, we have two sides, but this has been occupied by hypotenuse. So our base will be this one, that is 24 centimeter. So our base will be 24 centimeter, or simply 24. If you write centimeter, then in the next step you need to cancel it out. Now what about our hypotenuse? Hypotenuse will be same, opposite of 90 degree, that is 25 centimeter, that is 25. Now question number 2. In question number 2, we have first we need to find for sine C. Now sine C. See, now we have sine C. So sine A and sine C, will the values be same? Use your common sense. Sine A and sine C, will the values be same? The name sine, we have same sine, but A and C, that means the acute angles are changing, right? The acute angles are changing, so it won't have same values. Sine A and sine C won't have same values because acute angle is changing. So sine C, here acute angle is what? Here acute angle is C. So we need to see from C point of view. Let us first write down the formula. Sine is perpendicular by hypotenuse. So according to sine C, which one will be our perpendicular? According to sine C, our perpendicular will be AB, right? Because perpendicular is opposite of acute angle. So the opposite of acute angle C is, opposite side is AB, which is 24 centimeters. So we have 24 out here. And then what about hypo? Hypo will be opposite of 90 degree, which is 25. Now the last part for question number 2 is cos C. So what is the acute angle out here? C is the acute angle, right? From C point of view, we need to look. The formula is base by hypotenuse. So we need to select base according to acute angle C. So if C is the acute angle, will be our base? Base is the nearby side, or the nearby side is AC as well as BC, but AC is occupied as hypotenuse, so our base will be BC, which is 7. And what about our hypo? Hypo is opposite of 90, it will be 25. So this is the solution for question number 1. Now let us move to question number 2. Now let us solve question number 2. So in this question number 2, we have been already provided with a figure. Okay, so in your textbook you'll find this figure. In the previous question they didn't provide us the figure, so we have drawn by ourselves, but figure is must. Even if they provide it or not, we need to make it. Okay, so without figure we won't be able to solve it. So we have a figure attached with this question, and what we are told to find? We are told to find tan P minus, this is minus, 10p minus cot r. So let's start. So in the previous question itself, I told you that don't directly jump to the question, the demand of the question. The demand of the question is 10p minus cot r. You keep this aside, demand of the question aside. First, you try to find out the missing side of the triangle. You assure that you have all the sides of the triangle before moving to demand of the question. So first, which side we need to find? Either we need to solve 10p minus cot r, or we need to first find out qr. We need to first find out qr and then jump to 10p minus cot r. So how will you find this side qr? First of all, observe the figure. This figure is a right angle triangle, and in a right angle triangle, if we have the information of two sides, if two sides are given, then the third side is found using Pythagoras theorem, right? We can easily find out the third side using Pythagoras theorem. Let us first write down given. So in this question, the given informations are angle Q is equal to 90 degree, and then we have PQ is equal to 12 centimeter, and we have PR is equal to 13 centimeter. So we are trying to find out QR first. So using what theorem? Pythagoras theorem, that is PT. Please write in full form. I'm just using shortcut as of now, but in your answer sheet you need to mention the full form, that is Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so what does Pythagoras theorem states? Pythagoras theorem states hypotenuse square is equal to perpendicular square plus base square. So what is our hypotenuse? I hope you are by now you are clear with the meaning of hypotenuse, perpendicular and base. Hypotenuse will be our opposite side of 90 degree, or 90 degrees out here. So opposite side is 13 centimeter. So our hypo is 13 centimeter. So 13 square. What about our perpendicular? While using Pythagoras theorem, don't get confused about the acute angle. Okay, most of the time or always our just locate the hypotenuse. Wherever there is 90 degree, you just locate the hypotenuse opposite of that one, and then after that you can simply use this as base and this as perpendicular, because we have the freedom to select the acute angle while using Pythagoras theorem, not while solving trigonometric ratio. While solving this 10p and cot r, according to the acute angle they have mentioned, that is p and r, accordingly we need to go. But while using Pythagoras theorem, we have the freedom to use the acute angle. So provided you need to locate the hypotenuse correctly. Okay, hypotenuse should be always opposite of 90 degree, and perpendicular and base we can use as per this acute angle all the time. Clear? So this will be the general way of using Pythagoras theorem: perpendicular, base and hypo. So our perpendicular will be 12, or perpendicular will be 12, because mostly we'll be using this as acute angle. Okay, while solving Pythagoras theorem. Our base will be QR. QR is missing, so QR will be only QR, since we don't have the numerical value of QR and we are trying to find out that. So 13 square is 169. 13 to 13 is 169. 12 into 12 is 144 plus QR square. So our main aim out here is to find out QR, right? So QR. So how are we going to find QR? Can we add this 144 and QR? We cannot add these two, because these are unlike terms. 144 is number and QR is an unknown value, right? So known value, that is number, and unknown value cannot be added. So what we can do is 169 and 144, they look alike, yes or no? They look alike, they are numbers. So what I can do is that I will bring these two together. So if I cross this equal to sign, whenever we transfer numbers either from left hand side to right hand side or right hand side to left hand side, the sign changes, right? So 144 has plus sign, so it will become what sign? It will become minus sign. I think these are basics which you know. I'm assuming that you know about this, because this we have learned in lower classes. So 169 minus 144 is 25. So 25 is equal to QR square. So now we are trying to find out the value of QR, not QR square. So again, we need to transfer this square to left hand side. So if we transfer square to any side, from left hand side to right hand side or from right hand side to left hand side, square will always become square root. So square root of 25 is equal to QR. So where this square has been transferred to left hand side. Okay, so now this square has been converted to square root. So square root of 25 is, I hope you know, this is 5, because 5 into 5 is equal to 25. So QR we got 5 centimeters. So after finding out the value of missing side only, you will solve the main demand of the question. So the main demand of the question is, now the main demand of the question is 10p minus cot r. So now first of all, write down the formula. Always write down the formula 10p. What is the formula of 10? The formula of 10 is perpendicular by base. And what is the formula of quote? Quote is base by perpendicular. Why? Because quote is the opposite of 10. Whatever will be 10, the reciprocal of that will be quote. So 10 is p by b and quote is b by p. This p, 10p, this p is different and this p is different. This p out here represents perpendicular, and this p which is attached with 10 is acute angle. Okay, so now 10p, we need to look from p point of view, yes or no, because acute angle out here is p. So according to p, which one will be our perpendicular? According to p, our perpendicular will be opposite side of angle p, which is 5 centimeter. So I hope by now you are clear with this concept, perpendicular, base and hypo. This will be 5. And what about s par p? We are looking at s par p. So s par p, what will be our base? Because we need perpendicular and base. So s par p, our base will be 12, because base is the nearby side. The base is the nearby side. We cannot select pr because pr has been occupied by hypotenuse. So our base will be 12. Our base will be 12. And what about out here? We cannot use the same base out here, okay, because see, 10p and this is quote r. So r, the acute angle is changing. Here the acute angle was p, here the acute angle is r. So just don't carry forward the base out here. Just don't write the base 12, because this is wrong. This base 12 is s par acute angle p. This base 12 is s par acute angle p. So now again we need to look from which point of view? From r point of view. From r point of view and select base and perpendicular. So from r point of view, our base will be qr, because base is the nearby side. So our base will be qr, and qr, that is 5. And then what about our perpendicular? Our perpendicular is the opposite side of acute angle. So what is the acute angle out here? R is the acute angle. So our opposite side is 12. So our opposite side is 12. So now 5 by 12 minus 5 by 12 is 0. Yes or no? 5 by 12 minus 5 by 12 is 0, because same thing minus 2 with the same thing will becomes 0. So the answer of this question is 0. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubt with regard to those two questions which we have solved, please mention it in the comment section. Thank you.